I got this guy that sent me a chart where he's making money cloud trading. I did a cloud trading video, and I have a cloud here that's very small. It's two clouds actually. It's the indicator list is I'm using the 3131 and the 1212, and that's the secret recipe. But it's just you could have a moving average. I just like to see color. Like I had Paint Bar inside of a TradeStation. I fell in love with Paint Bar. I wrote a bunch of code for the easy language of TradeStation 2000. So Paint Bar, I fell in love with it because it was really quick and dirty, like get her done. Like get is spelled G-I-T. Get her done. And this is a combo plate of ATR, but what was the most important thing is that I'm going to trade this. I'm playing back Strategy Tester using the MACD crossover that came with it. Magically does dumb trades. It buys at the market and puts a super tight stop in, like ridiculous stuff. We just watched it trade a little bit here, and so I'm gonna call out the trades here as the market. So I'm rehearsing the trading that I would do to try to make 5 pips, 10 pips, 20 pips. And this is a 5 pip grid on the dash lines, and the thicker lines are the 25 pip grid. And I'm just trying to make 25 pips, let's say. And I'm waiting for the ATR to die down on the 1 hour chart. This is a 1 hour playback. And right now there's no trade. I'm getting filled on limits right here because I already placed limits. When the market was up here, I put limits down below. Now imagine there's limits sitting below, and those are scalps, and those are swing trades. And there's an elaborate array of orders in there, and you have a dollar risk amount connected to that script. Now, this script could be staggered limits, it could be linear limits, it could be anything, but you know the only way you're going to make money, sometimes you need to buy lower than you are the prices now. So I'm getting filled on limits now. I should be cashing out 10 pip targets. So if you bought at the 5 yard line to make 10 pips clean, you just made it on that limit order. You can see what's going on here. Now, this is choppy. We're getting mixed cloud signals. In other words, the first bounce here was the easy bounce to right here. We knew that that was the most painfully obvious, you had to get the fuck out in this 5 pip window exit. Why? Because it just moved too fast, too far. The volatility spiked. Now we're getting filled on limits again. Okay, we cashed out. We made our 10. There's another limit grid there. You have to play limits when it's wild and stop entry when it quiets down. Now, we're coming into the close of the U.S. session right now. This is 24 bars per day. You have 24 chances to blow up your account. Less risky than the 48 bars on the half hour. This is cloud trade. This is trading 101. The drudgery here is that you can only make 5 pips or 10 pips an hour. But if you're trading a standard lot, that's $100 an hour, right? Order density, tight spread broker. Now here the broker is set to 0. And I think I've set the spread hard on the playback to... so you can cheat and make robots look really like they're doing good. If you pick a 1 pip spread here, if I go to 2 pips, I could run an algorithm and it would blow up the account. That's how critical, if you're going to trade the 5-minute chart. This is just Strategy Tester playing back. You're going to go to View, Strategy Tester, load up the, you're going to load up this MACD sample. This MACD is what I'm trading. That's why it doesn't matter. Any robot you can get to run and just play it back. Put a visual mode. So right now it's playing back, and this is where we're at in the charts. And I have the speed cranked up. If you put more indicators on, you can slow down the playback, but it's pretty fast. This is one. Now here comes Asia. Now you can see I would have got filled here had I bought hand-placed new lows, or if I would have just had a goofball grid out there. Like I just don't care, right? Because I'm willing to make 5, 8, 10, 15, 20 pips. Like 20 pips is your max. You just made $200 on a standard lot. you have, you press a button that puts a 10K or you drop a 10K in here. 10 drops. You take your mouse and drag it over 10 times. You just bought that and you just traded that. And that's your trade. You're just on one currency pair. Like, it's so difficult, right? But it is. Because look at these moves. Now, from an ATR standpoint, cloud trading, as soon as it turns green, what can you say? Uptrend. Now you start putting buy stops and sell stops in here. See, now, from an ATR standpoint, you made money on a counter trend move because you got in here. So if you always run buy and sell stops, even if you get a buy signal, even if you're supposedly in an uptrend, so to speak, right? Supposedly in an uptrend, oh my God, they chopped me out. Now, if you have a 15 pip stop running all the time and you buy at the market, if you're babysitting this thing, you see you're in this 5 pip window and you buy at the market with a 15 pip stop, obviously you're up 5 pips right now. What if you pull the trigger, buys at the market, starts throwing in limits on the same time deep like this? Now imagine it's like this, right? There's your limit sitting right now. You got a pack of orders sitting below here. Why? Because it's new lows. This is where the buyers come in. How is this so mind-boggling difficult? Now here's low ATRs. You have buy stops here, and maybe you can see the stop and reverse and go the other way orders. If you don't take any bias in this shit. Now here's like 2 10 pip candles. Your buy stop here, sell stop there. You're only filled on the buy side. This is Asia. So you know that this, and the ATR in this is, this true range here on the 1 hour is kind of a little bit fictitious because the spreads go so wide on this broker at the end that is just literally a spread of like 15 pips for just a second at 5 p.m. Here, not so much. But see, this is one of those things where people are like, oh, look, it went up all day. It's going to sell off. Oh, really? Well, just a complete blind bot that puts in you're in a 10 pip window on the 1 hour. You have a triangle forming. It's very simple crap. But the problem is that the market can zoom up like this and drift down, right? Sell stops. You're in the cloud, 10 pip bar, only 10 pip entries, right? Sell, 10 pip entry. Oh, stop out, reverse. Well, you're in the green cloud now. Then you're in the blue. Look at this velocity of smash down. Right here, buying for limits. Crushed into limits here. Look at this vacuum fill. If you didn't jump on that train, if you bought here, 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 that's a 1 hour sell-off. News comes, this void trumps anything. This has to fill hard. If your orders decay every 15 minutes, you did not buy this, see? What people aren't understanding is you have to trade. If the order lasts an hour, you only got filled on the bottom here. If you last 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you're allowed to put in 1 hour, 4 hour. You put in a big fucking order here, right? Big order on the previous 2-day low. You're focused on this time frame, and I can't change time frames in Strategy Tester Playback. All I can do is zoom out. So, I'm getting filled on limits down here. So the breakout bot, the breakout bot is short right now. Your non-directional trading system is making money right now. Right? Why? Because, and I can't switch time frames, but you're in a sell mode here. You've been blue. So there is no, right here is a 4 hour, I can't go to the 4 hour chart, but you can see we went nowhere for this long. If no buyers are coming in, maybe sellers are coming in. This way, non-directional trading. Look at you just cleaned up and made 50 pips. Now it's pure limits. You're either holding here and you miss that entry. Now it's pure limits getting filled. Big grids going way down. Big grids going way down. We can't look left because there's really nothing. Oh, here we go. Look way left here. Down here we got buy limits, but we have buy limits down there anyways. It has nothing to do with anything. You can make all sorts of suppositions here. Whole buy limit fills all the way down. This is where people get killed. There's no other trade here. I'm waiting for them to take it all the way down. Now you're down 75 pips. Almost 75 pips from this, filling this giant void here. Oh, still getting filled on limits. All right. Another hour just went down. There's no other trade for me. Like if you missed, how are you selling into that? You have to be on the 5-minute chart waiting for it to pause for a millisecond and hit your sell thing, right? If you blindly sell into that, you can only imagine what's going to happen when it starts to retrace and I make money from my limit grid. So as soon as the ATR went to this is telling you when you drop 25 pips in 1 hour, or you have a 25 pip ATR, that you got to start throwing in your limits. Now they got to come in this deep. Now you got limits all the way to here. And at this point, you're making money. You're just about to make this much money on those limits. So built into this, I'm presupposing you're trading 100K. I'm presupposing you trade 100K and you got filled on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K. You still got dry powder up the yin-yang. But people shit their pants over this trade. I can't believe you're buying into that. If I buy a 1K here, on a 1K every 15 pips, right? This is a 25-yard line. This is 5 pips. Right now you're in this trade. So your master stops are say here, or there was one here. You've blown out of this you're down 4K. Now you get some more buy limits. Don't forget all the dry powder that you have. And what is the stop on this, right? What is the stop on this ticket? You can have a scalp script in here that's got a buy limit here, a 10 pip stop to make 5, right? That's living inside of the grid drop. When you drop that grid down to here, right, look where you're at in the vacuum right now, where we're at right now on this thing. And you can still buy, you have more dry powder to buy all the way down in here, like it's now getting filled. Look at new lows. New lows. And your sell bot would have sold here, right? Low ATR, your sell bot would have been triggered right there, right? So you're long, now you're gonna sell. Now this is the hard part, because you're kind of admitting you're wrong now. Oh, maybe that buy limit strategy is not working out. You know what? Sell into that. Ride it down into your limits now. So you're hedged. This is your only chance to sell. And this would be wave. If this is wave 3, which is the biggest wave in Elliott wave, this would be wave 4. This would be 5. Or it would be ABC, right? ABC. So now you're picking up these limits. You're scalped out of here. You made your 10, 20, 30 pips on that sell. You're trading both direct. You don't have a horse in the fight, or a horse in the ass, or whatever they call it. So here you're still making money on your shorts. You got more limits to go. More giant psychotic sleeper cells down here. You've got a minefield of limits down here that lasts for the next 8 to 12 hours. And you're short. You're still holding the shorts. Now watching the ATRs here getting smaller. like I said, you have to be out of something along the way. Every 5 pips you're getting out. You're scaling in, you're scaling out, and you're constantly in a hedge. Now you have buy stops. This ATR just dropped down low enough, and now you're still holding limits, and some are underwater, right? Some are underwater. And the day's not over. Here comes, I guess this would be about London Open here. Possible retrace all the way back to here now, because now that London's open, here comes the other side of the ocean comes in here. And of course, if you're on the 15-minute chart, it's a whole different trade. Okay, now you have buy stops here and sell stops here. Now you have a hedge on, right? Okay, so you just got filled on the southern side there. So now you're making money again, going with the trend for another 10 pips down into this vault of buy limits. You're short again. By default, the robot has picked 2 entries for you, or the cloud system. Sell stop with buy stop, sell stop. The lowest ATRs out of this whole stream here. You're a little bit trapped long. So you're short. Now here comes those limits, and you're cashing out. You've already had half of this position by now. And as soon as this gets bigger, now you're putting in more limits down here. And now it's about London Open. Okay, more buy limits are getting filled. And I'm still short on 20% of this position. Right? Here coming now fill on a lot of limits because I martingaled in. Don't forget, we martingaled up here. So here we bought 10% of the account. Here we risked 20%. Here we risked 30% of the account. And we'll risk 40. We'll risk it right down to the end. And that account will grow. All right? That account would make money today. It was swing trading entry too. Just to prove the martingale works, we'll go with a M1 martingale here, and M2. Right by the time here we're this DEFCON 5 down here, this M5 down here. So we're hog long here. In a lot of scalps built into this. ATR was too wide to put in the sell bot, so we're in pure limit mode, and we've got our fingers crossed. We still maybe be 10% short from this entry now, but now we're in serious load the wagon areas here. So we've been going down for how many hours here? And we've dropped 50, 75, 100 pips deep, 125 pips possibly down this day, June 6th. June, July. Yeah, so this is last month. Some kind of psycho sell-off last month. But from a day trader standpoint, like, how could you jump on this train? Well, you have the cloud. You could take rallies. If you dual screen trading, you have the cloud is blue. On the 1 hour, you're taking rallies in the climax is in the 15-minute against it, so you're 4x away. You're overlaying time frame overlay by 4x. You can scalp the hell out of 25 pips on that and see where you're at in the landscape. Okay, here comes the bulls. London. Oh, this is the London Open. Big change of opinion here. Now you're finally making money because you went to martingale level 4 here, right? Because this is M3 pocket. So this is 25. Now this is 25 pips. Now you're so big in this trade that you're gonna buy sushi tonight. This is the yen, and the robot just took a buy here. Look at on the MACD crossover bot. Just went long. Gotta love that, right? Okay, here comes MT4 to the rescue. But if you only had the sell limits, sell breakouts, right? That's the sell breakout. This is the another ATR chop out. If the target was here, or the target was here, another 25, 50 pip target on this entry and this entry, where your targets, and you're getting back and hedging with limits to come back. And you get in very heavy here, and right where the robot got trapped on the MACD crossover, you're already up on that, on these two 4X martingale. So yeah, martingale does work, right? Because this is such a vacuum that's formed that this, since you were trading so heavy down here by this point, not to mention, you took the 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 pips off the table. And you benefited from the trend, but you also counter-trend traded at the same time. So you're trying to take the best of both worlds. The low ATR entry that is a clean break. Maybe your trend, you have a trailing money management stop. You get stopped out here, and you only realize this profit, right? This is the profit you would realize from a strict robot. He would get in here, he would run a trailing stop, he would get stopped out and realize this. When your limit tickets are getting filled here for the 5 pip bounce, right? And you just got filled here on more limits. Don't forget, this is this is Martingale 5 level. DEFCON 5. Now you really load it up, right? Because maybe this is London Open. I don't know what the fuck, what time. It doesn't matter. It's about just amazing new low, and you're scalping out of that. And you've got M6 orders pending in your account. Don't forget, you got backup. If it's really the war room, then this would be your pawns. This is your bishop. This is your rook. This is your queen. This is your king. The master stop. You lose the whole game, right? You're playing a chess game. Many chess games, right? You're playing multiple chess boards on multiple currency pairs. You hand place the limits down here, maybe. You have scalp pockets built in, designed to make those easy 25 pips. Then you have the bigger picture, right? Or you have the jump on it. Hey, it's quiet. Sell into the trend. Sell into the last known move. But look how quiet this is. Like, this is where you can only make about 5, 10 pips, right? 5, 10 pips. Very quiet day. Then here comes what the fuck, and not to mention the ATR of this day is here. More buy limit fills. Look at this. DEFCON 5 here coming in. And still in the cloud, the blue cloud, still in a downtrend. Oh my God, the whole day. Look at this. The whole day down. So coming Asia, we'll be buying at our Martingale 6 level. Look at the fucking robots trapped. Look at this dumbass MACD. Look at it's trying to make 5 pips. Has no stop. It doesn't even have a stop on it. How in the hell? What kind of criminal act is that? Well, here's your platform good to go. By the way, we threw a EA in there that just has no fucking stop on it, but it's trying to make 5 pips. Okay, there's another DEFCON entry here. Now, so we're hog long on that. We just scalped a big chunk. Oh, we just took a chunk out of that. Now it's got till, yeah, so here comes the U.S. session. This is probably about, what, noon? Look at retrace 7, right? Now the thing is that if you bought too heavy into this, you're getting out right now. You're not going to wait for this whole thing to unfold. And we just went green on the cloud, right? So here comes the trend bots, And luckily, my MACD was so clever as to get in without a stop, so I never got stopped out. I'm trying to make my 5 pips, right? So, you know, you gotta, like, you could say, oh, this thing wins 100% of the time. Yeah, until that one day that no stop, right? Okay, so we just took a big chunk off the table there because this is the biggest up candle or the biggest candle since this down candle here. This is quite a move. And we loaded up. Don't forget, every 5 pips we bought more. So we get a 1K, 2K, 3K, 5K. By this time, we're buying 10Ks, 11K, 12K, 13K, 14K. So true martingale, right? Don't be in denial. If you're a martingalist and you buy 1K, 2K, 3K, now you're buying on the 25 grids. It's a whole different story than buying every 5 pips. So I think another thing with the martingale, I think they're talking about buying 1K, 10K, 100K. Now that's completely different. 1,000K, 10,000K, that is a logarithmic. That is Richter scale proportion, right? But if we just got in a standard lot here and made $250, right? And this is a 1K, 5K, a fifth. If you're adding 5K every level down, right? Now the cloud says buy, but you're not going to buy because you're in so fucking big. Maybe you put a buy stop here or buy stop here. Maybe you buy a little bit, right? Don't forget, you could still go down. You could still go down. Now here comes Asia. As the whole day has traded out. Now, your 2 entries for day traders were here on the 1 hour cloud, right? Now we could retrace. And who's not getting the fuck out here, right? What is the new vacuum fill? Well, as soon as this will be where the scalpers come in, right? Go figure, right? We're going to plan this in advance. You rehearse all this stuff in strategy test. So when the market opens, you'll have complete confidence in your what to do when there's low ATRs and what to do when there's high ATRs or true ranges. I'm just saying true range of the last bar. All we know is the last bar. Right now we have pending buy stops. We have our protection here. We could still sell. Maybe this is the only rally left and we still have more downside to come. This is why I would not buy at this point. If I was in very big, look, we're coming back into these guys are going to be underwater, right? You're underwater on these tickets if you didn't scalp out of a portion of these at the 5s. We could still go deeper. Here comes Asia. Another big iceberg, just big giant buy grid, buy limits. Just okay. Now here comes Asia. Next day. See, now you would have got stopped out on that. No fill here though. Notice no fill. This pendings might still be there. So you have a 2-hour pending. So if you have 4-hour pendings here to buy stop. To just go goober mode and just go, okay, I'll just go with them. You're getting trapped on the sell bots. Here you got trapped if you try to get in this last bit of the trend here. So was this the place to put a buy limit? Absolutely. New lows, you're up 10 pips. You just scalped 10 pips here. Now you start the whole, now this could retrace all the way to the floor here, or it could just start to just only make it to here and then start spilling out and going down deeper. Anything could happen. So here we have a buy stop now. We have a sell stop. Waiting for fill. It just went into sell mode on the cloud. And we still have buy limits sitting down for the next 50 pips. We've always buying 20 pips deep every 2 hours. Maybe every 4 hours we buy another deep bank here. Okay, we just got filled on our buy stop here. We just got filled on our buy stop here. Lower ATR here, so here comes the Asian robot. He's bracketed this, he's long. Right? We're still holding from previous day swing trades. We're holding this big, massive, like unbelievably large position, and we're just hoping that, for God's sakes, let's make it past this, where the robot's still underwater, and we have to clear up into this entry here. And we will cash out of the whole position, maybe 75% of the, because don't forget, we martingaled up. We got on our horsies and we martingaled up. So we're so under, we're seriously long here. Making it to this, got to make it to there. Here comes Asia. Here comes they're coming after these wicks now. Sellers are going to start coming in at the wicks. It's all about the vacuum. Now, once it gets up there, I'm going to dump. If we crash up into there, I dump that and I go to sleep, right? Because if I sat here and babysat this entry with buy stops, or just bought at the market, and you can see they trap here. This was the auction right here, right in the wicks. There's never made it down here again, and we got low ATRs. We got the green cloud starting. Here comes the buy stop bots. They're getting in. They're running. Now here comes the money management bots behind this. And this is why this window here was your last known. That was a trap. Everybody cashed out there, which caused us to come back. Now, got to hold that. We got to clear the trees here up to here and zoom into this wick. I mean, this wick is the vapor trail of the Heikin-Ashi. This true range is the actual bar is the wick. So I'm running like a Heikin-Ashi tail cloud on that. That's not the actual price. Okay, so buy stops are getting filled here. Low ATR. This is a pullback into the cloud. We just got to take it over the top. Otherwise, we're going to spill out and come down here. Okay, so we got confirmation on entry. We're long in. We're into this thing. Take a look. We just bought more here. We have stops here. That has to come to here, or we're fucked. If this goes, it breaks this area here and starts to spill down and continue, but the cloud says it's green. It's a go, right? And now we have a problem. We have a vacuum forming below. If that thing backs up, another chance to spill down and crush us. So can we make it to this? We may never make it to that. Don't forget, the sellers just came in and trapped. See? The sellers just came in this window, and they've got them. They pull it back. People are cashing out there. We're cashing out. We're holding from the previous day. If we let all these tickets unfold and they're incrementally getting out every 5 pips, we just got out of the buy stops that we have here. We just cashed out. See, now they come back to crush. Now we have to buy in limits. We have to buy in limits here, because we're still going to buy low and sell high. Okay, now we're buying more. Buying more all the way beyond here, we will buy more. You have to be ready to. So, ATR stops here, slightly short maybe. And we're still holding. We have a master stop, say here. Still holding that. See, now they are spilling it down. So this scenario, trap and smash. Okay, so they're stopping you out. You're buying more here, though. This is very, very perverse. This is support. Actually, your master stop has not been hit, but you have to buy more here. It's very, very difficult. Difficult to commit to a trade plan. You have all sorts of buy limits down here. You're going to buy more and more. All the way down here. You're still holding this. Now, hopefully you cashed out of something here because you can't be greedy. You need to take these entries here and you need to take 25 pips off the table. If you got in here, you need to take that much. You have to take profits. Here, you have to have a 5, 10, 15 take profit. If you start running the sell stop from the ATR standpoint, cloud's kind of faint here. And ignoring the cloud, just paying attention to ATR, you had to bracket that with stops. And if you're trap trading, you were short from here. Now you can't touch it. Now it's pure limits. Now you're going to buy every 5 pips all over again. And when you get to here, you're going to buy bigger than you've ever bought. And here you're going to risk the whole account right here. I'm just saying that's how I build an account, right? So you have to, if you're not losing, you're not risking enough. Okay. We bought just so much down here. We bought more here than we bought here. If we still have lingering trades from here, we're underwater, right? Now this is the previous days. This is that area. We're still looking to get out up in here, right? We got to buy more down here. How hard was that to do? Very difficult. Going against the tide, right? We just got a low ATR buy signal with a bigger cloud, a little bit bigger tail on that. We still are long, hog long from here, and we've cashed out and made a very quick and dirty, in that 1 hour burst, we made quite a bit. We're still holding underwater. Don't forget, from trades from here, say, or this short, if a ticket was lingering on your platform and you wrote it all the way to here, so it's a layered upon layered trade plans, right? I mean, everything's layered in there. This is also one currency pair. See, again, once again, you're in uptrend mode here, so this is where you're getting chopped to bits. But having the trade plan that can make on this baby candle makes that. Now you're going to wait for the market has to come back to your original target, and you are so long down here. Like you bought more down here than you can even imagine. Because it's deeper. It's a swing trade where you just literally oh my God. Now, coming into the cash out window, here's the critical window. Again, we're going to revisit this. Do we have enough fuel? Don't forget, look at this crush. Look at this crush just before we went up. Look at the size of that bar. Now it's untouchable from a stop entry standpoint. Look at this area here. Look at this kickback. Cloud, smash in. That is the biggest bar on this thing so far. And we just got filled on our exits. The sellers just came in. Watch them pull it back. Now we come with buy limits. Again with the buy limits. Always running buy limits. 5 pips to 10 pips deep all day long. For like, this is a 1 hour script. I mean, how is this not a good trade plan, right? Even here. If you just came to your platform right at this point in time and said, you know what, I'm going to put buy limits in here. You're the last guy to get in, right? This trade for you is golden. The guy that is accumulating during this whole thing, he's buying down here too. He's adding, but this could be your window. The stop hunt of the previous day by how many pips. Used to trade that all the time in the Australian dollar. I'd watch the Australian dollar, take out the low of the day, and I'd just put an ice pack in here and trade right there and I'd go back to sleep. That was the fucking scalp. New lows. This is the previous day. This is the end of the day. You just turn on the, go to properties and turn this show period separators. That's turned off on the default. Here, like I said, buy limits. You're getting filled here. This was the window to get the fuck out. Now you got buy limits all the way back down. Same trade plan. Because you made so much money buying here the last time, Now we're coming back to retest. Go figure. Almost like the market, like I said, there's no trades here from an ATR breakout standpoint. It's pure limits here and pure limits on top. You have limits sitting up here for a sweeping smash up to here and ricochet off. And when the market simmers down, you could put on another style trade plan that's going to have tighter stops. But here you have to have wide stops. You bought here on limits. You're cashing out. You're up 10 pips right now. On that grid that you threw in, hopefully you put a 10 pip profit with a 5 pip stop inside the button push. Or you hand placed it. Better yet, you hand placed all your orders at the 25-yard line just because it's a 25-yard line without regard to anything else. 2 hours deep for 25 pips deep for 2 hour grid. All right? You're not going to get filled. You're not going to blow up the account. You'll barely get filled. Like, if you're afraid of blowing up the account, you buy 1K, a 1K, a 1K. You're in 3K. You're risking how much money? In other words, it's about money risk. Swing trading, you would just buy a 1K with a 100 pip stop. Right? You're swing trading. If you bought this whole here, you're in a 25K. Right? No, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6K. You're in a 6K with a 100 pip stop. You just bought in here, right? Now you're up on that trade. But what if you had another 6K to donate to this swing trading with a 100 pip stop, right? You're risking $120. Like, you could scooch those stops up later on, right? You could bring them up to here. That's going to be work. It's work because this is why nobody trades multiple tickets, because they, well, I got to move a 1Ks. Right. That's right. You have to move 1K stops all the way up. But you are diffusing your risk. It's almost like the reason why they have $1 bills instead of $100 bills. Like, who, if you went to the store and it was like, oh, dude, we only take tens. Oh, sorry, you're at the threshold. That is $13. It's going to be $20 for you. Huh? Like, why? If, well, you mean, and then, of course, pennies. Don't forget, like, who's making change for pennies these days? Well, in 13, I got exact change. I mean, that used to be like some kind of proud moment for some old man. Look at how many times we've retapped the same window. Look at how many retaps that this is. Could this be some kind of price pivot? So, and of course, we're long. Don't forget, we're long, angry long from the day before. We're just going to wait this up. But yeah, who's coming out with exact change? People are swiping their card. People are fucking holding up their phone and paying for shit. That world's gone. So funny. So quaint. Like exact change. My hard-earned money. Cold, hard cash. Okay, so we're swing trading the shit out of this. Okay, we're still holding 50% of the position. Okay, here's our cash out window. How's it going to respond at this level here? Watching the bid come up. Okay, we've cashed out of, we're 20% in now. And actually no more trading. They're filling our sell limits. Don't forget, we threw up sell limits up here. Our other sell limits start here, coming back the other way. No stop entries now. Look, they're going to crush back. Now, this is the point where you have to figure, should I really be selling hard up into this? Probably not. Like, if you, right? If your goal here is complete retracement to the floor we took out. Now, look at this from the zoomed out standpoint. Sellers are going to, there's going to be a right issue here. See the sellers coming in at this spot. We knew this was an issue. The trade's over. We just made so much money in 2 days. What the fuck do we care? We just made 50 pips in 1 day here, from here to here. More than 50 pips. So how do we do that? We bought new lows. Scare the shit out of yourself. Buy new lows and trade the engulf. All right, like still drifting up. Now this could just go right to the floor. And now this, if you're up for this ride, the cloud says stay long. Low ATRs, buy stops, and sell stops. Here comes the stop bots now, right at the end of the session coming into Asia. If they finish up at the end of the day here at 5 p.m., then it's about putting the buy limits below again for the pullback. So I'm at max speed, and that's it. I mean, now you may think that take a lot of patience to hold through this smash down. Look at this drama here, though. From a range perspective, a pure trading range. Look at this. Look at this cluster. Accumulation, maybe. Look at this flag. In the cloud, you had to be out of that trade. It could go either way now. But we have limits sitting in there every 5 pips for the next hour. Now, when you look at this perspective, you're like, oh, yeah, this looks really easy. Like, here's a nice uptrend. But look how this is a drift up. This is a slam down. Here's a slam down. Here's a possible slam back up. It's just a lot of fun here, playing back the strategy tester. Yeah, just rehearse your entries. What would you do if that? What was if you saw this? Would you buy the new low of the day? Here is yesterday's. Here's the new low of the day. Here is buying the new low of the previous day. You're loading up here. You're riding that. When it comes up into these highs, you're selling up into that to come back down. It's completely, buy stops getting filled in the cloud right here, right now, right? You're buying this wick, the stop hunt in the cloud. Still looking for maybe one more burst up. It doesn't mean it has to happen. But this 1 hour chart with the cloud, you know, you can zoom into the exact blow by blow. Once again, it's always going to come down to, can you handle being in a drawdown to make, you would buy limits here with a big fat stop, you know, just complete fundamentalist here. Now look at this. Coming back in now, we just took out that trade block. For all you ICT freaks, that was it. We just burst through this, and the sellers come in. Now you're cashing out on more of your tickets. As soon as you cash out, come in with buy limits. And where's the buy limits gonna? Where's the last known top bottom? Right here. Everything's in a range. There's no precision. No precision in trading. Don't forget, zero precision exists. Just think zero precision. You'll be very happy, camper. Here, still coming back up into the floor here. Still trying to swing, complete engulf swing trade right to the ultimate exit here. If we make it, when London opens, if you're up here, you're just getting the fuck out, right? And I see that we finally made our 5 pips on that fucking MACD. You see how we finally made that? Amazing, right? Oh, we're a winning trader. There you go. Anyways, that's my cloud trading playback. 48 minutes of cloud trading.